What's up, world? Andre J here, and it's finally happening. You guys are listening in to yet another episode of the podcast. I'm so thrilled. This has been a great experience getting this up and running, and I just want to, before I begin, thank every one of you guys out there who are listening, who have given me the energy and the strength and the well wishes and the best wishes and the love and the support. All of those tools you've given me to be able to release this product has meant the world to me. So I want to thank you all before I go any further. This project is a labor of love for me. I never thought I would be able to do this, and the fact that you guys given me that source of strength, my goodness, I can't be more thankful or more humble than what I'm already am for you guys and for your love and support. So thank you from my heart to yours. And also, for certain, we have to make sure that we give the love and the thanks and the joy to our Father above, who gives us all the sources of strength to do whatever it is we need to do in our lives. So thank you from above. Thank you for all of the life, the health, the strength you bless upon me, my family, and all of those out there that I'm speaking to. Thank you. Thank you, Father. Well, where do I begin? So just a little bit of how this process began, where the creation originated from. So for those of you who do know me, music is my first love. That is something that I really take heavily. I don't take music lightly. It is something that is special to me. It's an experience. Each song I listen to speaks to me in a different way. And of course, my goal and my dream is to release a song of my own, whether it's my own personally written song or a song in which that I'm covering or whatever it is. I wanted to get out a song this year. I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes down to music, so I wanted to release a song that would be great, that was worth listening to. I mean, we have a lot of music out here that's just created and made up. No offense to those songs that we all might like and the artists who are behind those songs, but I wanted to give out a quality product. So I wasn't vocally ready. So I thought, and I said, well, I'm not going to do this at the time. This is not the time for that. So I asked myself, I said, what will give me the opportunity to still be behind the microphone and also be able to reach the masses? And I thought about a podcast because I can deliver a message or two or three to the world, and hopefully it's well received, and it's still giving me the opportunity to do what it is I love to do. But I did have questions within myself, because at first I was just like, I don't have anything to say. No one will listen to me. And of course, I'm not the type of person that likes to be out in the forefront. I'm more of a behind the scenes type of guy. I don't like all the attention and all that good stuff. I mean, every now and again, it's good to be noticed. But for me, I'm cool with just being behind the scenes doing my thing. So I had some questions to myself. I was just like, well, maybe this is not something that I could do. Will anybody even listen to me, for that matter? But I just started thinking about personal experiences in my work life. I'm looked at as a motivational figure. And of course, I've had friends and family who've sought advice. And I was there, and I was able to give them some useful information, and they were able to well receive that information. And I thought to myself, I started thinking about all of those things combined into one, and said, maybe my voice does have some validity behind it and someone will listen to it. So I decided to come up with the podcast and say, hey, let's reach the masses. Let's give some teachings. Let's share some of the experiences that I've been through and going through, and just see how we all can connect, how more of in relation we are to each other than we think. So here we are. Bulletproof Soul Speaks, the podcast began. This was something that was supposed to actually be released last year. I did a little introduction out there, and I put it on SoundCloud, but I wasn't too happy with that one, so I decided to scrap it and just pretty much start the new year with something great, something awesome. And it gave me a little bit more time to just sit back, zone in to my thoughts, and figure out what it is exactly I wanted to talk about and what I wanted to do. So here we are. We are standing here today, releasing some material to the world, and I'm hoping that, that you guys come along with me with this journey. It is very special for you all to be here, because again, this is something that I thought I wasn't able to do, And here I am doing it. So that's just one, message in itself. Don't ever stop thinking and believing in yourself. Don't ever think that whatever it is you're trying to go for is too hard, that you can't do it. Although it may seem hard at first, the reward of actually getting it done, getting it out to the world, it's a humbling experience. Number one, it's a feeling of accomplishment that it just breathes motivation into your body, into your soul, and it just makes you go out and just do whatever it is that it is you desire next. Always just remind yourself to never take the foot off the gas, that you could do whatever it is you put your mind to. So that's what it taught me. But the road to goals aren't easy. There are many goals that I've started that I didn't quite finish, or there are some that I started and may be in process and don't know how to move forward and what's next. So what better way to start this podcast series off with the episode called It's Getting Personal. And the reason why I called it It's Getting Personal is because I wanted to dig deep and share an experience with you all that I've been working on, still have questions about, still a little bit unsure, scared, nervous, all of those feelings. And I feel like there are some others out here in the world who may be able to connect with me. And the topic of choice was weight loss. And I know this is a touchy subject for most people, but I want to just bring awareness to the world that it is hard. It is hard to reach any type of goal when it comes down to lifestyle changes, weight loss, whatever it is. This has been something that I've been working on consistently for, I'll say, 2 years, but off and on for the last 4 to 5 years. And my goodness, I don't even know where to begin, because it's such a trying task to get your mind wrapped around doing something new and also committing to a new lifestyle. Although the reward at the end of the day is whatever goal you set to lose, or whatever lifestyle changes you wanted to make, the fact that you have it planned out and mapped out is pretty much the reward. But getting to that reward is the most difficult thing that I probably done so far. So I started to notice within the 4 to 5 years that the person I used to be, as far as my weight and my size, was evolving to something different. I was an active person for most of my life, but when you get older and certain things change in your life, things start to go, I guess you can say, downhill. I'm just speaking of my experience. So for me, it was something that I looked at it as a downward spiral, but started to just keep on looking at myself and was just like, woo, okay, well, what's going on here? But paid it no mind. We carried on with life and did what we needed to do. And, as years and days went by, just taking a look at ourselves and just saying, okay, well, a little extra here or whatever, And that's what it was. Sometimes you have to accept things in life for face value. I was at a time where I started to be victim of worrying about what others think and how they felt about the way I looked. And it started to kind of affect me mentally. And that's what caused the more of the eating, because pretty much food was the best friend. Food was something that you go to for comfort for me. And it was just something you decided to do when you were bored and, just didn't really have anything else to do but just go, hey, let's have a snack or 2 or 3. And, as I got older, passing the stage of puberty, you get into the, getting comfortable with knowing your body and understanding your body, things start to happen, changes start to happen. And then once you get to that teen, that 17, 18 years, 19 years, some of us are branching out into dating at that time. And we know the world is just, my God, the world is in some ways just messed up in a way. And it's messed up. The reason why I say that is because of what we start to believe of ourselves just judging by what others think of us and how they feel of us. It was kind of the thing, you started getting into the dating life and the dating world. And, everybody wants someone that looks like GQ, or GQ model. And of course, you're comfortable with yourself and you love yourself, but that self-hate and the lack of love for yourself starts to pretty much bring itself to light. And that's what the moment I was experiencing, just getting out of dating and having that feeling, not even a feeling, having the feeling of rejection, number one, and actually being rejected because of the way you look. And it gets to me not just thinking about it, because at least I can say thankfully that I'm still here, even have gone through that, because there are so many people out here in the world who may not have made it because someone judged them, someone criticized them, the way they looked, the way they dressed. And it's like, I wanted to bring awareness to it because there are so many people out here that are going through this right now that are not talking about it. And that is the major thing we need to learn how to do more of, is to communicate and talk about, what's on our minds, our problems, something that's worrying us. We need to let someone else know. So nonetheless, to get back to how this change in my mind began, it was just, social media and all of that. You just watch how other people comment and look at other people who may be slimmer than you are, or may have a six-pack and all of that. And it just starts to just weigh you down. And it just, I got into the feeling of unhappiness, because I'm just like, okay, no one's looking at me. I'm not desirable by people. So what do I do? So instead of, I guess, making a change or putting the gears in motion to try to change it, you pretty much you lay in it, you sit in it, and it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse, and you just don't think of nothing of it. And it just, it was a thing where I did kind of start noticing that it was an issue. I started the lifestyle change. I did it for about a month or two. I was proud of myself. And then I got into a mode of depression where it all stopped. And I just said, you know what? I'm just going to do it with whatever the hell I want to do. I want to eat whatever the hell I want to eat. I don't care about what anybody thinks, and just do my thing. But then that shift of mind just decided to say, hey, look in the mirror. And instead of at that time, look in the mirror and get your shit together kind of look, it was a, hey, look in the mirror. It wasn't the type of look in the mirror that voided me to, warranted me to change. It was something that was just pretty much like, well, you're fine. Keep doing it. Nobody cares anyway. So I went through that about 2.5 years. And, still dealing with the whole, not being accepted by the world or whatever, still was kind of there, but it wasn't something that was, I could say it like this. It wasn't something that was obvious to those around me who knew me and loved me to notice that it was something that was bothering me. I kept it hid very well. I did a good job of that. And I'm not trying to, justify it any type of way, because that's not a good thing. We need to do a little bit more expressing. But just the fact that I hid something or held something that was so near and dear to me on the inside for all of that amount of time, it was made me kind of wonder, like, hey, what the heck am I doing? And I think probably this is the first time that I'm kind of speaking about it like on a public level, because that is still something even to this day that I still hold personally in my heart, because I just, read things and hear things on the news about how many people who may not have won the battle. And the fact that I'm able to sit here and talk about the battle, it just does my heart good. And I'm hoping that it helps someone else be, number one, comfortable with speaking out no matter what it is. It doesn't even have anything to do with weight loss or anything like that. Just anything in general that you feel could affect the quality of your life. Speak up and speak out. There are so many avenues of assistance out here now in which can get you the help that you need. And that's pretty much what it was for me, stepping up and stepping out and speaking to myself, because I didn't speak out publicly, but I had to change my mindset. And what I did was I started thinking about the rewards of being at that target weight that I wanted to be, and also making those adjustments to the eating habits. And I started thinking about, okay, instead of what someone else thought of me and looking good for someone else, first, number one, I want to look good for myself. Two, I want to extend my quality of life. So if I do have children, I have a lot of younger cousins now, freshly born and growing up and walking around, running and talking. I want to be able to chase after them, have fun with them. And I just want that better quality of life in which, I'm breathing great. I can run for a long distance of time if that's something that I want to do. I can live life freely the way I did as a youngster growing up. So I started thinking about the benefits for me and what it is I wanted to gain out of the lifestyle change, as opposed to what someone else would think of me if I did this. And, that change of gear in my mind brought me out of the slight depression that I was in, because it is a form of depression. When you start to think and question yourself due to what someone else is saying or what someone else is thinking or feeling, it's a form of depression. We may not want to believe that it is, but it is. It definitely is. So I had to change my mindset and just start again thinking about what it is I was getting out of the process of me changing the lifestyle, getting better with eating habits and things like that. So all of those things mustered up in one goal started me to constantly work with changing things one by one. I tried to take things out and put them back if I felt like I needed to or felt like I could. Just pretty much farewell with it. Like soda, that was my number one thing. Like me and Pepsi, Pepsi is my wife. It took me a long time to divorce Pepsi. And as of this day, speaking right now, I'm going on 3 months without having any type of soda. So I am very proud of myself for doing that, because that was one of the hardest things and something that I was very stubborn to tell the world, like, no, you won't forever have me or see me with a Pepsi can in my hand. I'm not giving that up. And it took some time, because I've had some relapses with that as well. Just like with everything else with the whole lifestyle change, I've had some failures, or I'll just say I had some fall downs, but I got back up. But I know with the soda itself, it took me a long time to commit to that. Oh, my goodness. But now I'm to the point where usually if I smell it or see it, I want it. Now I'm just like, okay, I can see it. I can smell a little bit. And I'm like, no, don't need it. Don't want it. So kind of just taught myself how to get the taste away. And of course, that's a positive thing, but I still have some negative things there with trying to modify the eating habits and certain things I'm adding in or subtracting from my diet. So it's just things like that, conscious bringing consciousness to the situation and awareness to know that, okay, I know what it is I'm doing. What am I going to do to make those changes? And another thing that pretty much spoke to me, that just from seeing the times that I did fall down, is don't try to do everything all at once. If it's just changing, if you're trying to just slowly get yourself off something, if it's having 2 of them instead of 3 of them, that's something small. It's a big step, but you want to, make, the changes in small increments, because you don't want your mind, your body to get that shock effect that, oh my God, you're taking this away from me. You're doing this right now. Take your time. It's no rush. As long as you are doing what it is you can do to make those changes and you're moving forward. Just try not to turn around, move backwards. So those are some of the things that I continuously just speak to myself about. And now I'm in the gym weekly. That was something that was hard for me. I probably the only person who has had a gym membership for about 3 years and only went before this recent feat about we're gonna be honest here about once or twice, maybe 3 times out of the 3 years I had the membership. So complete craziness, I know, but I'm aware of the mistakes that I made, and it's all about getting better. And as long as you know what it is you need to work on, that's the clincher. That's the clincher, because now you have the tools. Admitting to it, looking at it from a perspective in which you can say, I can change this, I can do this, and actually getting it done. So it's always room for improvement. You can always do whatever it is you put your mind to. It may be hard at first, but as time progresses, it gets easier. And that's one thing I learned with this. So I'm hoping that I can give you guys an update with this later on down the line, and just tell you if I've lost anything, how the changes have come along, how do I feel. But right now I'm feeling great. I'm feeling awesome. Number one, because I'm here speaking to you guys. Number two, I'm bringing awareness to a situation that has been going on for years that it's like people brought it up and they've created programs to assist people with them. But it's just like, it's setting false expectations with these programs, because sometimes people spend this money thinking that it's going to change everything overnight, and it doesn't. It takes a lot of work, takes a lot of effort. And I believe in a buddy system. And I feel like if I'm speaking about it, the next person is speaking about it, it encourages you to speak about it and help someone else. And we have that buddy system of all of us here trying to get somewhere, trying to make that goal a little bit easier for ourselves and for the next person who may pick up on it, and just give them the strength and the tools that they need to be successful at whatever it is their target goal is. So it's very important that we stick together as brothers and sisters and give each other that encouragement that we need to make it. Because nothing in life is easy, but when you know that the rewards are as fruitful or as lucrative as they are, it will drive you. It will give you the motivation to push and don't stop. And that's one thing I've learned. Although I'm taking baby steps with certain things, with the adjustments, for the most part, I'm stepping forward. And that is the best thing that you could possibly do for yourself. It's just telling yourself that you're worthy of the change. You're worthy to create a goal, an obtainable goal, and you're worthy of creating a pathway to get through that goal, and that you're worthy of that success. And the major key is learning how to get out of your own way. Sometimes you have to be hard on yourself just to make the impossible possible. It's just, you can't just be hard on yourself to the point where you're criticizing yourself and you just completely shut down. But being hard on yourself, just giving you that encouragement that you need to say, hey, I can do this. I'm going to do this. It's going to happen. It will happen. So just always just make sure that you focus, you breathe, and you create a successful space in which all things are possible. And take control. Take control over whatever doubt that you have, whatever fear that you have. Take control of it and replace it with that positive reinforcement to know that all things are possible and that you can do it. So before I get out of here, I'm going to be, at the end of each episode, I'm going to leave you with 5 keys of a way of life, or to a better life, I'll say. And they're the same pretty much, but they're going to be, I'm going to be listing them after each episode. So the first one is live your truth, love yourself, hustle hard, be humble, and live your best life. I'm hoping that you guys continue on with me throughout the next episode. I just want to thank you all for listening in. Today has been great. I'm hoping that this movement will be a success, and I'm hoping that you guys ride with me on this successful platform, because you just don't understand. I am so humble to be here, and just to be able to have a message to give to the world means everything to me. So thank you all. I am Andre J. And before I leave you again, I want to thank you for all the love and your support. It means everything to me. We're going to do this. The journey begins here. Don't stop. Don't stop believing in yourself. Don't stop loving yourself. Keep on pushing. Trust me, in the end, you won't regret it. Again, Andre J here. You've been listening to Bulletproof Soul Speaks, the podcast, and I will be back with you guys pretty soon. So thank you all. Talk to you later.